Welcome to the IG Zombie Show. And now, here's your host, IG Zombie, and your co-host, TGM Gabe. Welcome to the IG Zombie Podcast with me, TGM Gabe. Now, I got some unfortunate news. IG Zombie would not be joining us because he's not feeling too great, but I'm still here to give you all the updates, all the news that you ever wanted, and your favorite thing, prediction records. Now, we've been going off and on with this, but right now, here are the official record predictions as of week 4. Devin had a record of 11 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie, with the Packers tying the Cowgirls, I believe 40, each. 20, 40, I'm not 100% sure. Let me just look at here. Yeah, they tied with 40, which brings us the first tie of the prediction season, which gives Devin the record of 45 wins, 22 losses, and 1 record. I, on the other hand, had 1 prediction wrong from Devin's original 16, which brings me the record of 10 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie for week 4. That brings me to a season record of 28, 19, and 1. Now, here's a reminder. The person with the worst record at the end of the season must do a punishment given by the other person. Doesn't matter who, what, when, or where. That will be the punishment of this thing. Now, what amazing games that we had packed for you during week 4. Let's start with the Seahawks, 23, and the Cardinals, 20. So far, Sam Darnold here, I would say, had a pretty good game here with 18-26, 242 yards passing, and then 1 touchdown. However, Kyle Murray also had an okayish game with 27, 41 receptions with at least 200 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. However, the only defect around here was 2 interceptions. However, the rushing with Kenny Walker III, 81 yards with 19, pretty decently for this one. We go out to, if I can pull my things up for this one. Let's go to Ireland, with the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Minnesota Vikings in Dublin, Ireland. However, it was a close one. The Steelers took away the victory, 24-21. The key masterpiece right here was going to be the Vikings, with Carson Wentz going 30-46 with 350 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. However, not the greatest move here with 2 interceptions along the game. With also the wide receivers for both teams, Justin Jefferson had 10 receptions with 126 yards. Amazingly done. DK Metcalf also had 5 yards with 126 yards, including 1 touchdown, which amazingly give him an amazing start to this year. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but this is the podcast. You never know what's gonna happen with here. Anyways, let's go to the Commanders-Falcons game, as the Commanders fell off against the Falcons 34-27. Michael Patrick Jr., the best rookie quarterback in the class, amazingly done well. 313 yards with 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Amazingly done. With also Drake London also having a offensive day today, or whatever, with 8 receptions, 110 yards, and 1 touchdown. Amazingly done, as people would say. Let's go to the Saints and the Bills game. Now, the Bills scored 30 1 against the Saints at that time. And still, so far, Josh Allen had an MVP caliber season, but not today with 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 1 interception. However, who did have a day, though, is James Cook with at 117 yards with 1 touchdown of the day. I mean, come on. What are you expecting from the Bills offense? I mean, hopefully when they play soon, they're going to have a tremendous time here. The Battle of Tennessee and the Texans, we're going here 26-0 here. I mean, Warts, comment on here were a ass. That's what Wynn said there. I mean, to be fair, I would say, yeah, they're kind of is. They're 0-4 of the season, but we're talking about CJ Stroud here having 233 yards with 2 touchdowns. What a day for him. What a, exactly what's going on for him today. I wish I can have Devin here cover a couple of the matches, but here's a couple more of these scores for you. However, one game to highlight here is the Panthers and the Patriots. The Patriots had an amazing game, scoring 42 points, which I believe here is the most points scored this week here. I mean, decently, Stephon Diggs had 101 yards. Drake Myers have a 203 yards with 2 touchdowns. I mean, honestly, here it's just honestly, they were just amazing all around. The Chargers here with the Chargers and the Giants here, 21-18 here. The Giants won here. However, one key player here for the NFL, Mark Nelark, not Nevers. I'm not sure how to present the name. He had a torn ACL and he's out for the remainder of the 2025 season. I hope he wishes him luck. The Eagles and the Buccaneers played as the Eagles win against the Buccaneers in a really, really packed game here. I wish I can just go over what the stats are, but I'm only by myself here, so I'm just going to recap you with the scores. The Colts and the Rams had a really close matchup here as the Colts lose to the Rams 27-20. The Jaguars and the 49ers here had a tremendous game, another close game, which I'm telling you, this year is going to get close after close after close. Which the Jaguars won 26-21 against the 49ers. Lamar Jackson's Ravens against the Chiefs. Now, like I said, I'm a big Chiefs fan, and you probably know because of my Chiefs jersey that I got from like 2024 or something. No, yeah, 2024, where Patrick Mahomes earned MVP hopes. But the Chiefs, of course, won against the Ravens 37-20. However, the big key update here is Lamar Jackson. He he got a hamstring injury and he will be unlikely to play week 5. He left in the third quarter against the Chiefs and he's expected to miss 2 or 3 weeks. And let's take a look at the stats again for what happened. Mahomes, 270 with 4 touchdowns. Pretty sure that's pretty good. Lamar Jackson, despite leaving in the third quarter, had a decent run with 147 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Hopefully, Lamar Jackson is okay. The Bears and the Raiders had one of the closest games so far of the day here with a 1-point lead here. Caleb Williams having 212. It was enough to defeat the Raiders 25-24. It was because of Carlos Santos' field goal that my bad. It was because of the touchdown right here from Andre Swift here. Andre Swift had 38 yards. However, did what he could to earn the victory against the Raiders. Now another game here, which brings us to our first tie of the season, was the Packers and the Cowboys. The Packers and the Cowboys had one of the most intense games out there, which some people would say this was Dak Prescott's game, legacy game or something like that. I wouldn't say that, but it was a really close game, which I'm bringing to you all here in this one. Jordan Love had 437 yards with 3 touchdowns compared to Dak Prescott's 319 yards with 3 touchdowns. I mean, they were basically up here, but however, the wide receiver game was the peak of things. George Pickens had 8 receptions, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I wish we had him in Pittsburgh because that's what we really needed at. Anyways, another game that we should highlight was on Monday Night Football, where the Jets and the Dolphins played their first rivalry game. I'm not sure exactly, but the Dolphins wore their black uniforms, and I don't think the black uniforms definitely helped because, for some odd reason, Tyreek Hill had a dislocated knee, and he was carted off during the third quarter. He's out for the remainder of the season, though, and hopefully he is okay. He also tore multiple ligaments in his knee, including his ACL. I wish that he can, I pray for him that he gets better. However, he had 67 yards of the game, which, like I said, because like Lamar Jackson, he's definitely a star in the game. But really, though, the rushing yards was a key to the Dolphins' win, with Devon Entrance for the Dolphins. 20 carries, 99 yards, and 1 touchdown in order for them to secure the win. And the last game was a blowout, was the Broncos against the Bengals, 28-3, which was really a tremendous game here. All right, let's take a look at the AFC North standings here. Not the AFC, but the NFL way early playoff thing, which the Bills carry number 1 with a 4-0 record. The Chargers lean second with a 3-1 record. The Steelers going off 3-1 also. The 4th and the 5th spot go to the AFC South with the Jaguars and the Colts going 3-1. The 6th seed will go to the Bengals as they had the 2-2 record, and the 7th seed goes to the Broncos. And then the NFC playoffs was the Eagles going 4-0, taking out the number 1 seed, which the Buccaneers also take the number 2 seed with the 3-1 record. The NFC West takes 3 of the 4 currently so far, with the 49ers taking the 3rd, the Seahawks taking the 5th, and the Rams taking the 6th. The Lions and the Packers here taking the 4th and the 7th, but I'm not sure who's getting. Not sure, but this is the way early predictions. And so far, it has been leading up to our next segment, which I'm sorry, this is a really short episode here in the IG Zombie podcast. But first, before we do that, I want to shout out IG Zombie for letting me help with this podcast and everything. Without him, I don't know what I'll be doing, being part of the boys and all that. But anyways, I want to take a little quick shout out to today's sponsor. And plus, it is the 2025 sponsor of my channel and hopefully Devin's channel in the future. So here's your today's sponsor, presented by W Energy. Have you started staring off to the distance like it's nothing? Or you had the crash or jitters of something? Well, try our drink, W Energy. the official drink sponsor of the IG Zombie Podcast and the official sponsor of TGM Gabe. W Energy, your taste buds' favorite energy drink. Thank you so much, Debbie, the energy that you've been provided. Anyways, now here comes our next segment here, which is the NHL news. Now we told us now Devin told us that there's gonna be some NHL news, which he's gonna be providing here. So on September 27th, the Pittsburgh Penguins goalie Marc-Andre Fleury, aka the Flower, played his final NHL game ever against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Man, just saying the last game of his career, that's just insane to hear. You know, seeing him playing back in like 2006 and now all the way to 2025, it's just it's such an amazing experience. I mean, if you ever been to a Penguins game before, it was amazing just to see him block all these goals. I mean, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. He is going to be absolutely a first ballot Hall of Famer here in the NHL Hall of Fame, which he also said in one of the comments here, he's too old, he's not going to be playing as much. He said that the Wild was his last game, so he only played one period, and that's what he did. He played only in the third period, which respectfully, I understand what he was trying to do here. He promised that the game of sorry, my voice again was going to be that bad, but he said that the Wild was going to be his last game, but he's going to retire with the Penguins at that day. Respect. Thank you, Flower, for blooming in Pittsburgh, from blooming in every single game. You're going to be honored and respect to every team that you played for, honestly. The next news that we have here is the Minnesota Wild signs Curl Kapakvi, I'm not sure exactly how the name is, to an 8-year contract extension, making him the highest paid player in NHL history. Well, I thought Sidney Crosby was going to have that goal. However, this dude here, I'm just shocked to hear that. This is the first time I ever heard this news. But now we asked you guys last time that we're going to provide our early NHL Stanley Cup prediction winners for this time. Now, honestly, here, I respect the Oilers and respect the Penguins for what they're doing. But right now, I mean, the Oilers are playoff contentions. We got. We got the Penguins not doing the best they can. However, I'm saying the Panthers here can go three-peat here in this one. So my prediction is the Panthers, the Florida Panthers, are going to win another Stanley Cup. I'm not quoting that. Please, Devin, don't quote this either. but but Devin here, he's saying that the Oilers are going to have revenge on the on the Panthers this year, and I was like, they're going to do this again. You're going to go back to earning that the repeat here. But yeah, but now we're also going to have our late MLB World Series winners, which sadly the Pittsburgh Pirates are not in the playoffs. They're not experiencing black whatever October. But we both said the Philadelphia Phillies are going to win. I double checked that. I feel like the Philadelphia Phillies are going again to go back to the World Series and earn themselves another championship. Hopefully, earning themselves a 2-time championship. All right, here it is. The Week 5 predictions here presented by Dubby, one of my favorite times of years. So, the matchups here are going to start with the 49ers and the Rams taking on Thursday Night Football. And we're both saying the Rams. But for me, I'm saying that this is my lock. This is my game of the week here. Unbelievable. Beautiful here. Next up in London, the Vikings against the Browns in London, having a new quarterback here with Dylan Gabriel starting against the Vikings. I feel like the Vikings are definitely going to be taking this. Devin said the same thing. Uh, I think that we can agree. The third game to start off the week 5 of this amazing matchups here. The Texans against the Ravens. I'm saying the Texans are definitely going to win because Lamar Jackson is going to miss week 5 of this. Devin said the same thing here. Let's take a look at our next matchup here: the Dolphins and the Panthers. Now I'm saying the Dolphins here may have the opportunity here. However, they do not have hair. I'm going to regret this. I feel like I'm going to regret this heavily. So Devin, if you hear this in the background, if I lose, another challenge added to me during this season. He's going with the Panthers here, so this is the one disagreement that we're going to be having probably a long way forward here. The next up, the Raiders and the Colts here to start off the matchups. To to continue the matchups here, we both said the Colts. I feel like Daniel Jones is definitely the Indiana Jones here that we need to have. You probably know exactly what I'm trying to say. Anywho, the next up, the Giants and the Saints. Dar is going to demolish the Saints in a big one. I'm saying the Giants. Devin's saying the Giants. We both agree. The Cowgirls and the Jets. I'm saying the Cowgirls. But Devin's saying just the ordinary Cowboys. Devin, we already know the Cowboys are going to win this one. You already know, or we're probably just gonna flunk this one with this one. Anyways, the next up, the Eagles and the and the Broncos. My bad, I said the Broncos. No, I said the Browns. My bad. Anyways, we said the Eagles. They're totally gonna get this one amazingly. Going 5-0 this season. That's the only thing I'm telling you. They're still gonna be the number 1 seed. Next up, the Buccaneers and the Buccaneers and the Seahawks. We both said the Buccaneers. We already know Baker is going to bake his way from this victory. Next up, the Titans and the Cardinals. We both said Kyler Murray is going to beat the living heck out of the Titans and Cam Ward. Sorry about that. I think that's exactly what we're all going to say here at this very point on. Next up, the Lions and the Bengals. The Lions are going to take on the Bengals. They're going to pounce on the Bengals. So we both said the Lions here. So far, this day is going to be unspeakable because we're both going to have the same, but I think one of them is going to be different here unless if something happens. Anyways, the Commanders and the Chargers here. The Commanders and Chargers are probably one of the most like frantically teams in the NFL, but you never know. The Commanders and the Chargers. I'm saying Chargers. He's saying Commanders. In this point on, I said, bring it on. That's a rivalry for a day. Next up, the Patriots and the Bills. Devin locked this in for his game of the week here, which, if you don't know, game of the week is basically, I think the top game of the day. He's locking in for the Bills. I'm locking it in for the Bills also. Devin makes this the game of the week. Next up, the Chiefs and the Jaguars here on Monday Night Football here. We're both saying Chiefs. I'm saying Chiefs because because I'm just a big fan of them. But that is going to do it for this episode. Like I said, if you don't know, the predictions do count here in this moment. So, would Devin win? Would Devin lose? Or would Devin maybe get another tie this season? Would I win, lose, tie? We'll find out next time as we recap game week 5, see what happens in game playoffs here in this one, and of course talk about my success at the Special Olympics North America Softball Championships and talk about my experience in Oklahoma. Everyone, thank you for watching the IG Zombie Show with me. Sorry, Devin, he couldn't be here. Sorry if he couldn't be here, but that is going to do it, folks. This is the IG Zombie Show, and I'm proud to announce that W Energy is now the official sponsor of the IG Zombie Show, presented by me. I'm so excited about it, but this will be it. I hope you have a good one, great day, and we'll see you next time on the IG Zombie Show. Thanks for watching or hearing. I don't know.